I just read a disturbing analysis by psychiatrist Larry Kilbrick. Here's what he said. He said, the average parent of teenagers speak 14 minutes a day to their children. 12 minutes is negative. 1 minute is neutral and 1 minute is positive. Now that's very disturbing. But there is something else about the constant criticism, especially false criticism. It's very oppressive. It's destructive. It's seldom productive. It's hurtful. It hinders the work of God. It shrouds the truth with falsehood, and it never glorifies God. A wag recently lamented how crippling this type of thing is. He said, the only exercise that some people are getting these days is jumping to conclusion, running down their friends, sidestepping responsibility, and pushing their luck. But I want to talk to you today about turning oppression into opportunity, turning the oppression of false criticism into an opportunity for glorifying God. And I'm focusing, of course, on Acts 21 and 22. Long ago, as I said, I don't really preach so much on how a person can really change as much as I can tell you how to change the situation you find yourself in. I want you to sharpen your pencils because I'm going to give you some practical advice here on how to turn a negative environment that grows out of false criticism into a positive spirit. And I believe with all my heart that next to the Lord Jesus Christ, the Apostle Paul is a master of doing just that. He's a master of turning oppression into an opportunity. In the last part of Acts 21, we see that when the enemies of the gospel saw the Apostle Paul walking in the temple, they saw this as an opportunity to make mischief. They immediately began to stir up trouble, to stir up rumors among the pilgrims who were there by the hundreds of thousands celebrating the Feast of Pentecost. And they stirred up this trouble, falsely accusing the Apostle Paul. What were their accusations? Their accusations were basically three in number. Listen carefully. Here they are. Number one, they said Paul was anti-Semitic. Actually, I heard people in modern day say the same thing. And I want you to imagine, of course, in the midst of hundreds of thousands of pilgrims coming from all over the world, these Jewish people coming to Jerusalem, and somebody else anti-Semitic. I mean, you can imagine the attitude and the reaction, which is natural, of course. They called him the enemy of the Jewish people. They called him the enemy of Judaism. I want to tell you and show you how blatantly false this criticism is. The Apostle Paul writes to the Romans. Now remember this, Paul was a persecutor of the church. He was saved from eternal hell and destruction and damnation. And he writes about every epistle, literally, he would thank God for his salvation. That is the most incredible thing that has ever happened to him. But he writes to the Romans and he says, if my ending up in hell and damnation going to help save my fellow Jews from hell and damnation, I'm willing to go. Now, I want you to just visualize this. This man, this tender-hearted man who was ready to be damned for eternity for the sake of his fellow Jews, gets accused of being anti-Semitic. I mean, can you see the falsehood here?